Good morning to all of you. I am Dr. Satish Gupta, Assistant Professor, IIMT College of Law, Greater Noida. Today I will discuss about the sociological theory and what are the paradigm of sociological theory and what is the theory talk about according to sociology. So my research topic is my today lecture topic is the unraveling sociological theories, understanding the dynamics of society. So first I will talk about the introduction. What is the introduction? And an overview of sociological theories and theories impact on society. That means that what is the sociological theory that impact upon society, and what the various theories such like as that functional theory and the conflict theory, the feminist theory, the other such theory, how they impact upon the society and how they influence the societies and society, how to change the society. So that all things are included in this lecture. So first of all, if we will see that the understanding the dynamic of social interaction, how we interact to each other, how we communicate with the other peoples, and the mode of the interaction through the verbal interaction or the inverbal interaction. So all the such things are included in this lecture, and their implication of individuals and communities, exploring the role of culture and social uh, institution in shaping societal behavior. So first of all, we have to think about that how the emergence of sociology. So after the emergence of sociology, there are various sociological theory emerge. So if we see that the emergence of sociology, so there are two major incidents that impacted upon the society. The first one is the uh, industrial revolution, and the second one is the French Revolution. So these two things are impact upon society, and through the what changes on in our society, and these two things affect our society as a large basis. So that's why we will study in this lecture. We will learn in this lecture that in emergence of sociology and the role of the France Revolution and the French Revolution, and what is the role of France in the sociology, and what is the role of the founder of the sociology, all such things. So first of all, I will talk about the functional theory. So what is a functional theory? That functional theory examine the functionalist perspective on society, emphasizing the interdependence of social structure, and their contribution to social stability, analyzing the function of institution and their impact on social order and cohesion. So for the functional theory, so we have to first of all to learn what is the functional theory, and we have to know about the functional theory. So functional theory talk about the functional means that as like our bodily structure function for the each other, and how our bodily structure function with the other structure. So that's called the functional theory. So functional theory talk about the positive aspect and positive aspect of the society. So this theory talk about that, and there are no any conflict in the societal all aspect of society work for their functional smooth running for the society. So in this slide, we can see that the functional theory examine the functional perspective of society. So how the and what are the perspective of the society that create the functional for the society, and emphasizing the interdependence of social structure. So and what are the interdependence of the social structure means the how our social structure emerge, and how we create social structure in our society, because every day and every time there are create a new structure for our society. At every minute, every second, we create a new structure for our society, as like such like we see if we learn through the example. So we can see that an example of the our as like such an example of the any such things. So we can see that so how the social structure create emerge, and how the social structure create, and how the social structure maintain the stability of our society. So social structure create and maintain at every time, and every time, every second, and their contribution to the social stability. So that social structure create the social stability and contribute for the social stability in our society. analyzing the function of institution and their impact, and what are their our the function of institution, such as economic institution, educational institution, religious institution, political institution, and what are their impact on the social order and cohesion, how their the institution impact on our society, and how they create cohesion, and how they how the other such the institutions maintain cohesion in our society. For the example, we can see that if we see think about the example of the like as the educational institution. So educational institution create the innovation and create the innovation and create the science, and that's create the function for our society. That's through the science, through the technology, we work for the our work easier. We our work for the easier work, and we innovate some new things, like as the train, buses, metro for our convenience. For the other example, we can see that the religious institution maintain the morality in our society. Through the morality, people are not doing any bad things or any papa punya karma. They believe in the papa or punya karma, so that's the religious institution maintain the stability in our society and morality of the people. The other institution, like as the political institution create and maintain the create and maintain the politics in our society, and how they rule and govern of our society. So through the political institution, we learn how we govern our, or how we control over the control of our society. Because if we didn't control our society, then the society in the society there are chaos, and the people all the people are didn't follow the any rules and regulations. So that's why our society did not smooth run, and no so we cannot assume the functional aspect of our society. Further, the second theory will talk about we can talk about the conflict theory. So conflict will talk about the exploring the conflict perspective on society, focusing on power dynamics and inequalities, investigating the role of social class, race, and gender in shaping social conflict and stratification. So basically, the conflict theory emerged from the work of the Karl Marx through his work. He described that how the conflict emerged in our society, and how the masses revolt against their capitalist system, and how the capitalist exploit the labor class. So all such things in we will cover in the conflict theory. So the conflict perspective of our society focusing basically on power dynamics. So because the power who control the power, so the people he or she did not lose their power, through the power dynamics there we can see the inequality in our society. Because the people who are using the power, they are in upper class of our society, their status are upper in our society. But the people who have didn't power, they are the treated as the lower class in our society, or lower strata in our society. So through the power there are made a strata and strata. So through the an upper strata and lower strata. The other thinkers as well, we can see the in conflict theory as a Habermas. Habermas already talked about the conflict theory, and others thinkers such as the Jeffrey Alexander talk about the conflict theory. So all those thinkers talk about the conflict theory. So if we see the Althusser work, Althusser also talk about the conflict theory. So if you see the work of the Althusser talk about that the what are the role of the government, and how the government control us, and how the mechanism of the control for the government, such as the law, police, so all those things are the control mechanism of the government. So through the power dynamics, the government control us, yeah, through control the masses of the state. Further, through the conflict theory, we can see that the role of social class, race, and gender. What are the role of the social class and how the social class treated in the society? What is the role of the race and how we discriminate through over the race and gender, where the discrimination of gender discrimination. All such things are through only the power dynamics, and that create the conflict in our society. So if we see the gender, if you talk about the gender dynamics, then we can also already talk about, we can already discuss we will already discuss about the what are the gender dynamics. Gender dynamics means that the how the gender conflict created in our society. So gender conflict, that means the gender perspective, that the first wave, second wave, and third wave talk about the gender wave, the three wave of the gender conflict that create a huge gap in our society for the uh, conflict theory. Further, the third aspect I am talking about, that the symbolic interactionism, that theory talk about the symbolic interaction as a framework for analyzing social interaction and the construction of meaning in society, exploring the significance of symbols, language, and communication in shaping social reality. So further, the symbolic interaction talk about the how we talk through the our symbols. Like when we talk about the other, when we show our eyes to other people, that means that I am angry to the other people. So through the symbol, basically at the certain time we cannot talk, we cannot verbally talk with other people, interact with other people. So in that sense, we will use the symbol, our symbol for the interaction. So that called the symbolic interaction. So social interaction and the construction of meaning of society and exploring the significance of the symbols. And that theory talk about that what are the significance of the symbols and the language and communication in the shaping the social reality. What are the social reality through the symbols. Further, I am talking about the feminist perspective, that the feminist perspective on society, emphasizing the intersectionality of gender, race, and class, analyzing the impact of patriarchy and gender norms and social structure and individuals' experience, examining feminist perspective on society, emphasizing the intersectionality of gender, race, and class, analyzing the impact of patriarchy and gender norms on social structure and individual experience. So, feminist perspective topic. If you talk about the feminist perspective, there are feminist perspective of the various perspective in which the conflict perspective and the functionalist perspective and the other theories are already involved in the feminist perspective. So, feminist perspective basically talk about the what are the patriarchy society and how they exploited by the patriarchy society and how the marriage system exploit the women, gender, females, women. So all such things are involved in this section. So the first and second and third wave are from the foreign countries. Through the feminists are erodes their word, their what are their issue and how they create rise conflict for their exploitation, and they raise their voice against their exploitation through the patriarchy system of our society. And they some of the thinkers like Simone de Weber and the other Alta Martha Chan already talk about that. Then when we should all the women so dissolve the marriage system, and we should not go for the for the family structure. That's why when we go for the family structure, they start our the uh, exploit will be start for us. So that's why they are feminist perspective talk about the dissolve of the marriage system, dissolve of the patriarchy system, all such things. Further, the evolution of sociological theory, unveiling August Comte's insight. In this next slides, I will talk about the August Comte insight of in the sociological theory, and basically August Comte, known as the father of the sociology. And further from prior to the sociology word, August Comte word, the name of the sociology as a social physics, but social physics word was copyrighted by the Edward Catlett. So that's why August Comte the thought about the other name in 1839, that the sociology, that the other new discipline in our social science discipline. The early sociological theories laid the groundwork for understanding society. Comte's positivism and emphasis on social order were groundbreaking. His classification of science into theological, metaphysics, and positivism, which may provide a framework for understanding societal development. So August Comte talk about the positivism and emphasize on the social order, where he classified the society into the theological, metaphysical, and positivism. So he divided that the theological world era, that prior to the 800 century. So the in those era, everything we thought about our God, and we in every region, at every region we thought about that our the God created through the God that happened, and by the God that is happened. So all these things over upon our God. The second era is a metaphysical from 1300 to 1800 century. So in that metaphysical era, people, the masses are over upon the our king. So we'll follow our king and kingdom. So and the third era, that the positivism in after the 18th century. So after the 18th century, the masses of the people are the through they use their logic and scientific science. So now the after the 18th century, we thought about the in every incident. So we thought about that there is a reason for at every thing said, there is a reason for the scientific reason. So we did slowly we found that there are scientific reason for that everything happening. So here we can see the functionalism and structuralism. The functionalism and structuralism emerge as a influential sociological theory. They focused on the interrelated part of society and the function they serve. Comte's emphasis on social order and stability laid the foundation of these theories. Functionalism and structuralism emerged as influential sociological theory. They focused on the interrelated part of society and the function that they serve. Comte's emphasis on social order and stability laid the foundation for these theories. So functionalism and structuralism emerge for the influential, how they influence for the society and how the sociological theory influence upon our society. So these theories are the interrelated part of our society, and they function for serve as a both for the our society. So basically, if we see the Comte's emphasis on the social order and order and the stability of the society, how the social order meant, and how the stability and how the social our society is stable at that time. So that theory functionally and strictly make over these things. So functionally and structurally emerge, how this theory emerge and how they influence in our social theory, and basically focused on the interrelated part of our society, and basically the function and serve Comte's social order stability for our society. Further, if you see the Comte's conflict theory, so conflict theory challenges traditional views of society, highlighting power, struggle, and inequality. Comte's insight into social dynamic and change laid the groundwork for understanding the complexity addressed by this theory. So, conflict theory basically challenged the traditional view of society, because when we see our the traditional view of society, so there are no any changes through over the past 100 years. But if we like to change to change our society, so we have to follow the conflict theory. So that's why the conflict theory talk about the change in our society through like such as the example of the change in our society through the such as we can see that our constitution. So that change our society, that is the change of the untouchability and the child marriage act, all those things create are through the conflict theory. highlighting power struggles and inequality. So that's conflict theory, highlighting the power, how the power struggle and how the inequality in our society. Through the inequality, the emergence of conflict created conflict, and the conflict created huge changes in our society. Comte's insight into social dynamic and the change laid down groundwork for understanding the complexity addressed by this theory. So through the conflict theory of complex Auguste Comte, so there are the groundwork and how the dynamics change in our society. Further, contemporary sociological theories such as symbolic interactionism and feminist theory continue to build upon Comte's foundational work. His emphasis on understanding social dynamics and progress remains integral to modern sociological perspective. So all such things are the sociological theories, part of the sociological theory, and how the sociological theory emerge, and how are the basically three theories of sociological perspective, such as the functional, conflict, and the third one is the uh, uh, dynamic and the feminist theory of our society. Further, we can see the conclusion of this lecture. The Auguste Comte's insight has significantly shaped the trajectory of sociological theories. His emphasis on positivism, social order, and progress laid the groundwork for understanding the complexity of society. His legacy continues to influence contemporary sociological perspective. Thank you.